I believe that the Lord is hearing the prayers, and we're gonna see a lot of folks go to Japan, man. And we need more. Like, you're not a pastor, right? You're not a pastor. The thing is like we need more than just pastors to Japan. Like, allow the Lord to utilize this gift that you have. There'll be other people who'll be like, man, you know what? We need to document this. Like, how can we go and be a part of this?
Like the hill where Jesus was crucified. And if you guys want to go there with me, we'll go next year.
I've been introduced to Japanese culture like I feel most people are nowadays. Through anime and their delicious food. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot to be said about these two things. But for those who have never been to Japan and gotten the chance to truly experience its beauty for themselves, I'll say that there is so much more than you think.
But I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here. So let's go back to the very beginning, shall we?
Back in January, my brother and I were invited to a vision retreat hosted by Steve Sensei of Grace Community Church for the purpose of inviting fellow Christians into international ministry to serve God and people in other countries like Japan.
Originally, though, Bao and I were not supposed to go on that vision retreat. 2 people had already bought the tickets for that, but they couldn't go. And so Brenton called Bao, and he was talking to me saying, hey, do you want to go to a vision retreat? I didn't even know what it was. He didn't even say vision retreat. It was like some sort of retreat or camp. To be honest, I didn't even think that he knew what it was as well. He sent me the details and I asked Tony. And then Tony seemed down for it.
Oh yeah, I was stoked. It was at the vision retreat that I met Steve Sensei, and he told me what he had been doing in Japan, in Hita specifically.
32 years ago, my wife applied for a job with the Board of Education in Japan. And I was thinking, we'll go anywhere, but why do we want to go to Japan? But she talked me into it. And so when I arrived there, I had no idea what to expect. The next morning, I woke up at 4 a.m., borrowed the neighbor's bicycle, and rode up into the mountains. And that first day, I felt like, God, you put us here in this place because you've got something special for us to do. And I understood from that moment on that God had a plan to use us in the city of Hita in a way that I didn't understand. We lived there for 3 years and then we moved to Texas. We didn't know what to expect, but we knew that our time in Japan was not done. So we began to take trips back to Hita because we had friendships there and we'd seen the Lord use us during those years that we lived there.
Sesame Street stuff. One isn't like the other. Because most Japanese in those days were kind of, most of them were farmers.
Finally, when I came on staff at Grace Community Church, leadership at Grace encouraged me to take students back to Hita as part of our ministry there. What our program is now is we take these young Americans to do something that I can't do. I remind them that this ministry is not Steve's ministry, but it's their ministry, and I'm there to support them.
No, if you are walking mama through the camera.
Have you visited a restaurant? I'm sorry.
I've heard
It's tough. There's a lot of other
I've
important
been to
things
the
in
one
there.
in Tampa.
So I'm at Walgreens right now. Very first time I've ever been out of the country.
I have no idea.
So I had to go get my passport pictures done.
I'm just at Walgreens. I called them and they were like, "Hey, do I need an appointment?" She was like, "No, you don't need an appointment."
Excited for about Japan.
Meeting people and the food, for sure, 100%. That is what I'm most excited on.
I'm really excited that I get to reach people and experience another culture.
How do you feel like the Lord is going to use you in Japan?
We do a little karaoke. Karaoke.
Well, this Japanese guy right here, just great guy. Yeah.
No habla inglés. Oh, so you're working on your Japanese?
Just because we need a direction for them to follow because they would have a.
It might be very obvious to you that I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing with this series. It's been several months since I've been back from Japan, and I find myself thinking about it a lot, how much of a blessing it is. I think about how much I miss my Japanese family over there. To all my friends in Japan, I miss you guys. I can't wait to see you guys again. I pray that you're doing well, and it's kind of hard to go through all this footage that I've taken and to make a coherent story with it. I'm also trying to do it in a timely manner because all of my friends are like, I want to see Japan, what you're planning to do with it. And you can just take it in so many different directions. To everyone in Japan, koncha desu. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, and maybe like my okasan or my otasan can correct me if I'm saying konsha. It means like appreciation.
As I close the first chapter of this series, I'd like to take this opportunity to state that I don't yet know who I'm making this for. Is it for those who are a part of the team from Texas? Is it for my friends in Japan? My family? Is it for those who would be next in line to take part in this great endeavor? Or is this to someone who just happened to stumble upon this?
I don't know. But I pray that God will use his story for his plans. For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future.